Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honors, and glories unto Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai Ba'ashem HaKadosh. Double honors to my apostles and elders of Great Millstone that doing you well. Peace, blessings, and salutations be unto the members of the elect. The old elected in the 1/3. Shalom. This is Brother Dawadah from the GMS Detroit camp coming at you with another video through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai Ba'ashem HaKadosh. And today, this will be another in transit, right? And the title of this video will be In Transit. Nothing better will satisfy us, right? The Lord's will, this video will be edifying to the Lord's elect. Now, this comes through the inspiration of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai through a video that the elder apostle Aram Lab had done. I believe it was either yesterday or the day before. And I had watched the whole lesson, and I watched it a few days ago, and then today finally had an off day, and I was on my day-to-day, handling some business, Then I said, you know what, let me try to do some shopping. So on my way to the mall, I'm playing some music, and no matter what I played, it just wasn't satisfying me. It's like, it just wasn't there. Whether it was old school, whether it was hip hop, any and everything that I played, it didn't have that kick. It wasn't satisfying me. So I'm like, dang man, what could I do right now that can, appease my spirit and calm me down? Like what could I listen to? What do I do? So I said, let me try to head to this mall. I went to the mall, and I couldn't find anything that I liked. I was just vexed. So I said, let me try another store. Still vexed, And then after spending like an hour and a half of shopping and not buying anything because I didn't like anything, I just spirit off them like, you know what? That's the lesson, Because honestly, only the kingdom of heaven is really going to satisfy us. No woman can bring us comfort, all right? Because Scripture says you're supposed to be a pillar of rest, but they're a pillar of distress, So as that, then you say, well, let me get some rest by eating some food. Well, the food is defiled, so you can't even have rest with doing that, You're like, okay, well, let me drive around. Well, guess what? You're wasting your gas. You know how expensive the gas prices are. So it's no rest no matter where you go. And that's why it says in Micah 2:10, arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest. America's not our rest. Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai will put and do, it will do certain things and make certain things happen so that you can realize that, hey, this ain't your rest, which I had that happen to me today. No matter what I did, I still couldn't relax. And the best relaxation that you can get, right, is playing the lesson or doing the work. That's it. Now I remember, I think it was like a week ago, I finally had, a day off. And, I was sitting at home, I was trying to, play some video games. And then at one point it dawned on me, I was like, I'm bored. This isn't fun, this isn't enjoyable. And I was thinking like, man, what am I supposed to be doing right now? I just felt so bored, And then eventually, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, the Spirit upon me to do a video. That was the only reasonable thing I did that whole day. So really, only the kingdom of heaven is truly able to satisfy us. That's when we can actually kick back and relax. Because within this day and age, there's always something to do. It's always the next thing to do. You're planning for the next day and the next day after that, and then the week after that. Because as we're troubled on every side, so we're catching all kinds of hell. And then you start meditating on what you want to do, how you want to do it. Okay, I got to do this. Okay, I got to do that. And by the time you look up, guess what? The sun went down. And it's time for you to go to bed and, get back to slaving. So this shows you that what we need salvation. We need deliverance. Because this society, this kingdom is not where it's at. Now, a few weeks ago while I was at the gym, there was some Edomites talking. And in the, what do you call it? The changing room, dressing, whatever you call it, And the locker room, that's what they call it. You know? So in the locker room, they had said, they were like, yeah, man, it doesn't make sense. Roughly paraphrase what they said. Like I said, it was a few weeks ago. And there was some Edomites, or sounded like Edomites, or. They said, it doesn't make sense. Why am I working for all these years, and saving up all this money just to retire when I'm in my 50s or my 60s? And he said, what the heck am I going to do with all that money then? I'm going to be too old. So even certain of these devils, I realized the hypocrisy of this man's kingdom, the hypocrisy of this man's society. Because here it is, you did all this work for the so-called white man, and then by the time you're able to retire, you're in your late 50s, early 60s, and then technically you still can't retire because you still got bills to pay. The little pension they give you ain't enough. Your retirement ain't enough. The 401k ain't enough. And plus, what are you going to do with a 401k when you're well into your 60s? You can barely even get it up at that time. You know what I mean by that. And then let's say even if you could, well, all the women are too young. They don't want you. Based on how this society is. You see? So this is the wicked society that this devil built up. You see? That's why we have to put all our, like they say, put all your eggs in this basket. This is our plan A to Z. All right? This knowledge, this truth. This is plan A to Z. Since I've reached my destination, let me grab some scripts. Because it ain't about me talking. It's all about the scriptures. Like the other apostle, Aramla titled his video, nothing else would do. All right? The kingdom, that's where it's at. Like that song by Sam Cooke. That's where it's at. Really, the kingdom, that's where it's at. That's when you get all the honeys that you've ever wanted. All right? And by honeys, I mean the females. That's when you get as many as your heart can desire. All right? That's when you get children, as many as you can possibly think of. Okay? Because in this society, you cannot enjoy your children. Having a children on this side is a burden. You see? Having a child on this side is a burden, but in the kingdom it won't be so. Revelation 21. Slakia. In verse, I'm going to hit the point. Verse 4. And the Most High shall wipe away all tears from their eyes. Who is it there? The nation of Israel, beginning with the elect. Because in this society, in this kingdom, we're constantly crying. All right? And a lot of times it's literal. All right? Let's say a woman breaks up with you, or she leaves you. That causes tears. Let's say your family members, they hate you and despise you because you're in the truth. They don't want you around. That causes tears. Let's say you're behind on your rent. That causes tears. Or your children, they come up against you. That causes tears. Or let's say there's a funeral for one of your family members, right? Which technically we're not even supposed to go to any funerals, right? But let's say they wanted you to go. You're like, no, I'm not going because it fell on a camp day, And the time of the procession or whatever they call it is during the time when camp is held. You're like, no, I ain't doing it. You see? And then they disown you. That causes tears because it's like, dang, how come they can't get it? You see? Or your car break down. Sometimes you catch so much hell, you just ball out. You're like, dang. So the Most High shall wipe away all tears from their eyes. In the kingdom, we ain't going to be doing no more crying. We ain't going to catch no more hell. And there shall be no more death. That's literal. Neither sorrow, because a lot of times we're sorrowful on this side. All right? We're depressed. All right? We go through different things. A lot of times we're sorrowful. Nor crying. We already went into that. Neither shall there be any more pain. Yeah, and even our women, they're not going to be having labor pains anymore. It's going to be all natural. For the former things, as Esau's kingdom, his society, his rulership, are passed away. And that's what we're patiently waiting for. All right? That's what we're waiting for this devil's society, his kingdom, to pass away. All right? So, yeah, that's what we're waiting for. All right? As is written, there remaineth a rest for the people of the Most High. That's what we're waiting for. Okay, so let's labor, do this work in order to enter into that rest, which is the kingdom. And that's when we're going to have true happiness. That's when we can actually breathe out. That's when we're going to be able to be satisfied. All right? That's when we're going to be able to be satisfied. No more having to work for this devil. No more having to work, period. If you don't want to step your foot on the floor for 1,000 years, you're going to be able to do that. You can just levitate everywhere you go. That's where it's at. All right? Not in this man's society where you got concrete on the ground. In the kingdom, we're going to have streets. Well, you know what? Let's read it. Revelation 21 and verse 10. And he carried me away in the spirit to a great and high mountain and showed me that great city, the holy Jerusalem, descending out of heaven from the Most High. Now, he actually literally saw an actual physical city coming down. But it represented the elect coming down out of the ships. All right? The ships coming back down. All right? And the elect of the nation of Israel, which were delivered through the ships, that's them coming back down in the ships, in the chariots. Okay? Descending out of heaven from the Most High, having the glory of the Most High, and their light was like unto a stone most precious, even like a jasper stone, clear as crystal. That goes into the beauty of our city, the magnificence of it, the splendidness of it, all right, the beautifulness of the kingdom of heaven. It also goes to the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding the elect are going to have. It had a wall great and high, and had 12 gates. And at the gates, 12 angels, showing you that them rats ain't the people. Where are these gates? Where are these angels supposed to be written upon that city? Or that are supposed to be at the gates of that city, New Jerusalem. All right? And names written thereon, which are the names of the 12 tribes of the children of Israel. That shows you that the kingdom is only for us. It also shows you that them rats, they're imposters, because this hasn't happened yet. On the east, 3 gates. On the north, 3 gates. On the south, 3 gates. And on the west, 3 gates. The wall of the city had 12 foundations, and in them the names of the 12 apostles of the Lamb. Who is the Lamb? Yahushua. And he that talked with me had a golden reed to measure the city, and the gates thereof, and the wall thereof. Let me have down. Verse 18. And the building of the wall of it was of jasper, and the city was pure gold, like unto clear glass. See? And guess what? We're going to be walking on gold. Let's read that. Verse 21. The 12 gates were 12 pearls. Every several gate was of 1 pearl. And the street of the city was pure gold, as it were transparent glass. All right? Walking on streets of gold. Esau got concrete. Come on now. And just imagine what that'll do to your vibration. All right? Just imagine how that'll affect you. All right? Walking on streets of gold. You know? Then, of course, the smells in the kingdom. You know? Everything's going to be restored back to how it was during the time of the Garden of Eden. All right? Which the whole earth was Eden. The garden, all right, it said the scripture speak about the garden planted eastward in Eden. All right? Which that garden is the land of Israel. Eden was the whole earth. Eden meaning joy or paradise, pleasure. That's how the whole earth was. Okay? It says, so that's what we're waiting to get back into. So having streets of pure gold, having trees that actually give off a beautiful aroma all around you if you so please, having slaves, servants, handmaids, all right, concubines, wives, children, palaces, planets. You see? So this is what we're laboring to enter into. So, I pray this was edifying. All praises, honors, and glories unto Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. Ba'ashem HaKudash, double honors to my apostles and elders, a great millstone, they're doing it well. Peace, blessings, and salutations be unto the members of the elect. They'll reflect the 1/3. With that being said, Shalom. Barak Akim, and the future still listen. Shalom.